Hey everyone, so today I decided to play some Frozen Thralls. It's one of those lists that have been around for a long time, but I never really got around to trying them. I accidentally messed up though. So I went to Yoink Aikato's list, since he has a 60% win rate with it basically, and I know that he's a beast, so I figured the list is probably really good. But then I guess I forgot that a long time ago or something I must have made my own or something, because I had two decks with the same name, and of course I didn't end up playing the right one. So my apologies for that, because Aikato's list is probably better. I mean, it even just kind of looks better when you see it. But yeah, I feel bad because the gameplay will be from a slightly different version. So I'll basically just post both of them. Good news though is that I was beating all different types of matchups, from aggro to mid-range to control. So if an unoptimized version can do really well, the most likely more optimized version should do even better, right? So yeah, basically the main differences between this deck and the other one that I'm about to show is basically this version has Draklord Inquisitor, Preservationist, and it has Icevale Archers. It also has a random Rite of Negation, which I actually figured makes sense with all the Jayce going around right now, so I figured he actually might have put that in there. But I guess Aikato's list doesn't have that, but this was the actual list that I was intending to play with. So the main differences with this deck is that it has Clockhand and Succumb to the Cold, and doesn't have the 3 cards that I just mentioned. But I do think this is probably the more refined list, since I trust him and I know he's a really good player. So yeah, basically I'll post both of them in the description and you can kind of see which one you like better possibly. But the main way the deck works is the same. Basically you play these cards called Frozen Thralls. So if you don't know how they work, what happens is that there's a countdown 8 on them, so every turn it'll tick down. And eventually you'll summon a Frostguard Thrall, which is an 8 attack, 8 health, overwhelm unit. And so the reason this is called Turbo Thralls is because you have a bunch of other different cards in the deck that will try to speed up this process. So imagine possibilities: you either create a random landmark with countdown or advance all your landmarks 1 round. Clockwork Curator advances an allied landmark 2 rounds. Time in a Bottle can predict and advance an allied landmark 2 rounds. Also, this is cool because it's at focus speed, so as long as it's not in response to something, you can a lot of turns open up with this and basically burst speed attack with them. Same with Imagine Possibilities. If you had multiple different thralls on one countdown and it's your attack, you could play Imagine Possibilities and at burst speed just summon a bunch of 8/8s. So Promising Future is cool because it's grant an allied landmark. My countdown completion effect activates twice. So when you put this on a Frozen Thrall, it basically creates 2 whenever it reaches the end of its countdown. And then what's really nuts is that Taliyah will summon an exact copy of an allied landmark, right? So technically the nuts combo is to play Promising Future onto a Frozen Thrall, then play Taliyah onto that same Frozen Thrall, and then once it pops, you get 4 Thralls. And then Clockhand's a good late game card that will create 2 instant sentries, and I'm pretty sure that the instant sentries are a 0 mana focus speed spell that advances a landmark by 4 rounds. And you get 2 of them, so I'm pretty sure you can take a full-on Frozen Thrall from full countdown and make it pop, or you can usually use it on 2 different ones to make them pop. And it's also just a really good set unit itself that possibly gets some damage in, right? And the rest of the deck is a lot of control kind of things, so avalanches can wipe the board, Blighted Ravine can wipe the board as well as healing you. And it's also kind of cool that sometimes you can actually pop this Ravine if you wanted to with an Imagine Possibilities or something like that, because it also has a countdown. You probably won't ever need to do this, but it's technically cool to know about it just in case. Ice Shards are kind of used for control. You can also deal a bit of face damage in case you need to finish them off. It can also be used when attacking with Frozen Thralls, so that when they block the Frozen Thralls, you actually end up doing increased damage to their face, because it'll take away 2 of their health, which lets you do 2 extra damage overwhelm, potentially. And so yeah, you have a bunch of control spells, and you have Tavern Keeper, which can heal you up, and it's just a decent unit that can block fearsomes. It also survives your avalanches and ravines. Three Sisters is really cool because it's really versatile, giving you either a flash freeze to survive, a Fear of the North to protect your units, or push extra damage, and then Entomb, which can be used in many different ways to just be defensive, or to even protect your unit technically, but that's used less often. But technically you can even use Entomb on a blocker, so if they have a really big unit and try to block one of your Frozen Thralls, you can Entomb it and potentially get the full 8 damage to hit their face. It's just a really versatile card. You kind of need 3. And Succumb to the Cold is pretty cool because it can just frostbite an enemy and also summon you a Frozen Thrall. Oh, and the last thing I didn't mention was that Lissandra actually summons you a Frozen Thrall, obviously, And then once she levels up, it's actually really good because she levels up pretty easily just off of 2 thralls being leveled up. And then once she's leveled up, she makes your nexus tough and starts giving you ice shards every single turn for 0 mana. So they can end up doing a lot of damage to the enemy nexus without hurting you, as well as, like I said, being used when you're attacking with the frozen thralls to push even more damage. And once your nexus becomes tough, it becomes really hard for other decks to finish you off, especially with burn. And even though they nerfed the Watcher, technically this deck is capable of getting the Watcher, although you probably win before it happens. But yeah, so again, I think this is probably the better version, but technically the other version was winning a lot and in like a variety of matchups, so I guess you can choose. Yeah, that's about it. If you guys haven't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Maybe even like the video if you liked it. Everything helps out. Also, if you want to see me play anything in the near future, you could leave a comment below. I make a video every single day, so the extra ideas definitely help out. Yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Thanks. Oh, no. I think I have to keep. Oh, sorry. I forgot I was even fucking recording.
Go get the shiny devil.
Yeah. I think I keep this so I can kill a lot of his, like, most of his cards are pretty cheap to kill. This is always good against, like, Rek'Sai later. Obviously I wanted to Thrall on one, but we can't always have nice things. I really want to play this, but as like a blocker, but I don't want to waste it. Maybe I'm supposed to just because Lurk and be able to block that, because especially if he misses Lurk, right? We're taking too much damage.
Watch your head.
I think we have to just play Lissandra just to get a Thrall down fast.
Hidden by frost.
Uh-oh. I had to play a blocker for his snapshot that he's about to play. I knew he was gonna do that. I knew he was gonna play this vulnerable card. I just wanted to wait.
First relics.
Kill them all. Get some damage in.
Plans within plans.
Plan within. Might just play that to kill that. Yeah. The sad thing is, like, I can't even freeze that, because yeah, it would stop her from killing this, kinda, but he's gonna play something else that can kill it. And then he still gets attacked with it because it's ephemeral, he wouldn't even care. We have so many of these, like, I think I do. I think if he wants to kill my Lissandra, I want to make him work for it though. And give away, and sack an actual unit.
Let's talk about your dad.
Because now my Lissandra stays alive. I don't know if that's good.
Come back next.
But it seems good. Not enough cards. They're pretty healthy as well. Maybe it's not so bad.
If I stumble, I have the earth to catch me.
And they're both gonna die anyways next turn, possibly. But
This little fish won't last long in the desert.
New name for the list. How'd you spell Taliyah?
that's pretty good. We have another Lissandra as well.
Frost doors. All things grow cold.
Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, that's such a good top deck.
Succumb. I will remind the world of true power.
Oh, that's so good.
You will do as I command.
I don't think this chick, does she matter anymore? Probably not. You just send this one in, all of these ones in. I don't know if we send Lissandra in. This is lethal. Unless he has like a something for that, like a bone skewer or another pike. Do I care about Lissandra?
I am inevitable.
Maybe not.
Hello,
He
Bates.
has to have another pike or bone skewer, right?
You look familiar. Don't hold your breath. You look familiar.
He did hit it. He hits it. What a god. We actually probably should not have attacked with Lissandra then, because we could
I'm just getting started.
play Ravine. Does it matter actually? Cause he's gonna kill that and it's gonna strike everything else, right? But we would have got one more ice shard, but we wouldn't have had anything else to do with it, right? I don't think we play anything actually. Cause Pike's just gonna strike and kill everything. And if he develops anything, we can freeze the Pike, which means he can't get a board wipe. No. Oh! Oh my god! It's too lit! It's too lit!
Winter take you.
Let's go!
Splinter.
I don't think we need to advance them one round, right? Does that matter? I think we just play like this and look for something else. Does this count down one? Like, this will work next turn, right? And stun them? And now we have lethal with just blighted, right? Let's go! Ah! We actually beat Lurk with this shit. I mean, I don't know if this deck is a counter to Lurk, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it might be. I'm not sure who wins actually. Like, I've barely played this deck ever. I think I'm like 1-1 against Lurk. I lost it and then now I just won it. But that was lit. That was. But I mean, he should have won that game right there probably. Serious as the dark side. All right. We got some illegal decks. Is he allowed to play Bandle Burn while I'm playing Thralls? Imagine he has no 1-drops. Like a scrub. Imagine he doesn't run 12 1-drops. Unlucky.
I've never tried this chemical before.
I can't afford to play the other Thrall, I don't think, and just take too much damage.
No one's the wiser. This is
Solid
shaken.
opener. Like, we got a cool guy over here.
Damn it! I will bury the world in ice.
We did get some healing though. What is he gonna do? Okay, hopefully he doesn't have. Surely he doesn't have a fourth one drop, right? Is it that complicated,
Let
sir?
us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
Guys, you better not play a fourth one drop. I'm scared.
Ooh, what does that thing do?
It explodes, of course. Go ahead, light the fuse.
Welcome to the
I don't want to play this,
tipsy.
but I have to. Another one. Please, man. Please.
They'll never see it coming.
Let's talk about your tab.
You cannot fight the code.
I'm dead.
For you and one for you.
Who's gonna close up? Ugh.
Man, if we just had a little bit longer, we could have went ham. If we didn't get 10 one drops. Man.
They got past me.
Oh?
Ha! Little booms are just as good as big ones.
Okay, so we can get this down to this to open. Stop this. You don't need to do this. So if we get Lissandra to give us a tough nexus, it's actually pretty hard for him to kill us, right?
Is that a challenge?
I didn't want to have to use this, but I think we do it now.
The ice is melting.
I guess I skip actually. I don't like those options. Those attacks should suck here, hopefully.
War
No,
Mason,
okay.
reporting for
You're
duty.
just trying to burn me.
The few for the many. It's gonna blow.
I mean, we get a tough nexus here, though, right?
Embrace the cold. I will remind the world of true power. Succumb.
Follow.
We got him. Dude, we actually had an ice shard too to like, if they blocked the 8-8s, which you probably wouldn't have. Dude, I really thought we were gonna lose that. That tough nexus there at the end was just probably too hard for him to get through. He might have had decimate, but because we open attacked, he knew he had no way to deal that much damage when we have tough nexus. Damn. I really thought we were gonna get smoked. What is this deck? What are we playing against here? Oh, Thrall on one. That's... I think we look for like the epic combo pieces. Like that, yes. I think if, like, when I see this deck, I think about like that, those weird cards that came out, like the Buru Sentinel and shit, like that you, once you slay a card, that they get like increased stats. If I just never play units, how can they play me, you know? I think I'm down with just doing this, because like if he wants to play one unit or whatever, like who cares, right? I don't want to burn this mana. Yeah,
Light is
what I
a
figured.
lure in the
So,
dark.
like he can do 3 damage, sure. Go ahead, you're a beast. Oh shit, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I mean, I should have thought about that from Jayce, but...
A chill in the air.
I want to kill that fearsome one. If he has thermo though here, we get punished pretty hard.
I move forward.
Stay back.
Okay.
Ages pass.
So we can actually double level these, right? You think he's expecting these on turn 5? No. We could Fury of the North, but like that just seems troll. Right? Do we care about Lissandra that much? Kinda. Kinda. Nah.
Rosa.
It's fine. Hey, Lissandra again. Oh, nice. Seems like a pretty good turn 5 attack, if you ask me. I think he also agrees that it's a pretty good attack. Seems to be pondering this
Scalper for a smack you.
quite hard. The good thing too is Odie is a piercing darkness, so like I hope he doesn't have too much of those things. Why did my hand get all small? You guys see this on the screen?
Hextech cannon, tested and primed. I fight for a brighter
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm glad he took quick attack. If he took challenger, I wouldn't feel comfortable playing this Lissandra.
More than mortal, I am Iceborn. A dark cloud looms on the horizon.
We'll just take the 4 damage from his attack. We'll play this, probably heal one of these up. Because we can heal one up, and then heal the other one up with this next turn, if he tries to do any like damage combos.
Let's
Okay,
get started.
I guess that's the combo we have to be scared of, but I don't need to flash freeze. I could flash freeze that, but I don't think there's a point.
What will you have?
We could just do this. Looks pretty good to me, if you ask me.
Let's take this outside.
Okay,
Step aside.
what are you gonna do? 7 mana, what are you going to do?
Tech.
I mean, you can't double atrocity, right? Yeah. And she's still lethal, and then we can also, we don't like even die to that atrocity, right? Because we either flash freeze him and then it doesn't do any damage, or we just Fury the North our unit, right?